Hey guys, welcome to RaceRoom. Of course, a fantastic update to the game during the week with the graphics overhaul and the new DTM 1995 content, but there is a lot more to the game than that. I'm going to run through some of my favourite car and track combinations here right now. There's no excuse not to try RaceRoom. There is a free-to-play component. You can jump on and try any car through the practice mode. As I said, free for as long as you like before you plonk down your hard-earned money. So if you haven't played for a while or you've never checked it out, or you didn't like it previously, there's no excuse not to jump back in and check out what's happening. So luckily I own all the content, or most of the content already. I'm going to start off with one of my favourite cars in all simulators, the Group C cars at my favourite circuit in the world, Nordschleife. But in terms of the tracks, there are your usual suspects, your Bathurst, Spa, etc. But also a lot of weird stuff too, some Scandinavian tracks, Chinese Grand Prix track, a few Czech classics there as well. So again, jump on, try any of this stuff for free. And so we'll jump on here, Group C's at Nords, and check these things out. Alright guys, here we go, Group C, Nordschleife. These cars are mental, they sound mental, they look mental. They will kill you at a moment's notice, that's for sure. Turbocharged, proper H patterns. Big beast from the late 80s, early 90s. Did a video a few months ago on this car and driver combination from Le Mans, 1990, 1991, around that time period. Mark Blundell doing probably the most iconic qualifying lap of all time. Ended up 6 seconds ahead of the field in his Nissan, and the car was over boosting itself from its usual 800 to 850 horsepower to about 1300 horsepower, and is literally one of the most bonkers onboard footage you'll ever see. So do yourself a favour and jump on YouTube and Google Mark Blundell in the Nissan. It's the way the camera shakes, the violence inside the car is the thing that sticks out. For these guys to drive these cars around any of those sort of circuits back in the day for the length of time they used to is just amazing. So I love these cars in any simulator, especially so in RaceRoom with its fantastic force feedback and tyre physics. And Nordschleife looking as good as ever. First time I've driven here since the graphics update, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And of course open wheel stuff is covered both sides of the pond. We've got the Indy cars here from America. We're here at Mid-Ohio. Not the current Indy cars, of course, not the hybrid system ones, but the ones before that. Looks absolutely fantastic. Big wheel arches on these things look cool. And we're at Mid-Ohio, fantastic circuit. You can see some of the new particle effects there as the dust gets kicked up. And a few little sparks as well. That's part of the graphics improvement. And part of that immersion feeling that the dust and the sparks look a lot better, in conjunction with the lighting and everything else that they've changed. And these cars do have the push to pass system as well, which you get a certain amount of over each lap. This is just a brilliant circuit, lots of ebbs and flows, undulations. We see those particle effects coming into play there as well as the cars are running over each other. AI is really quite good in RaceRoom as well. We have to turn this down to about 95 just so I can drive and talk at the same time. Alright, checked out Indy car, now it's time for F1. This is the FX22, the modern Formula 1 car in RaceRoom. Did get a visual upgrade a couple of years ago to bring it up to spec with the current cars. Of course they changed the wheel and tyre size a couple of years ago, and the rear wing and a few other bits and pieces to encourage a bit more overtaking. So these have the correct visual stuff going on the outside of the car, and with the internals you've got all the usual ERS and DRS. You can map all the energy deployment and regeneration, and a big part of the strategy of course of the racing is managing the battery, and that is done very well on these cars, and they drive very nicely, plenty of aero as you would expect from a modern car. And the sound's represented okay. I suppose the problem with modern F1 cars, they all sound like rubbish when you grow up with the great cars of the 80s and 90s. So they sound as good as they probably can do for a vacuum. Definitely a very nice representation of modern Formula 1. And next up, just the DTM 2023 cars. No particular reason I chose these, there's nothing special about them, they're just GT3 cars, but I find them exciting to drive. I like the Ferrari that I'm in here at the moment. Of course, is the Max Verstappen liveried team Redline cars. And we're here, of course, at Belgium's greatest circuit. Some people got triggered then, I know. But it's just a fact. But yeah, they're just good fun cars to drive. Bash them over the curbs as well. There are the actual, of course, GT3 cars in here as well, because they're their own category. They're really, really good to drive, and the Bentleys and the Porsches and all the rest of it. But just like these DTM cars for some reason. And that's all there is to that one. Alright, a bit of Formula 3 action here now. So of course the problem with racing F1 online against human sim races is for most people their talent just doesn't match up with the car, and F1 races become absolute carnage most of the time, unfortunately. They're too fast and too twitchy. So the lower class Formula cars like your F3 and your F4 cars are a lot more fun, a lot more controllable for the majority of races, and just better all around. So we're here at the Norising, of course, which is famously named after Lando. That is not a fact, please do not quote that. And we've chosen some late afternoon sun to try and show off some of the new lighting effects here on RaceRoom. And it looks, in the words of Max, simply lovely. Clouds looking a lot better now as well, which is adding to the immersion. But F3's good fun. Alright, here we are in a very infamous car, very famous car, controversial car in this part of the world, the Nissan Skyline R32 Godzilla, and you'll see why off the start line here in a second, when this Japanese monster came over and absolutely poleaxed our big Aussie V8s, and that four-wheel drive system was a big part of it. Covers up any lack of talent like I might have, and off you go. So came over, absolutely smashed everything in its wake over here. Had that very controversial finish, of course, at Bathurst, maybe what was it, 1992, when Mark Scaife and Jim Richards took the victory when the car crashed out down Conrod in the wet. And that led, of course, to Jim Richards' famous calling the crowd a pack of arseholes up on the podium step when they were getting booed off stage. So one of the absolutely iconic and infamous moments in Australian motorsport, that is for sure. And of course the four-wheel drive system, absolutely fantastic for going around Bathurst. So we'll cover up any lack of talent. And Bathurst looking absolutely glorious here in the late afternoon sun there through Silman Park, the light just coming through, hitting the fence. And this graphics overhaul really is a transformative overhaul, that is for sure. Just changes the whole look and feel of the game. We dip over Skyline for the first time. I'll tell you what, that lighting is pretty impressive. So definitely a car to check out, the big Godzilla. Now we've got some vintage open wheel stuff here in the Crossle 90F at the Circuit de Pau-Ville. Got some really French sounding stuff there. Twist your tongue around. Little Monaco style circuit, this one. Fantastic little blast. These cars, of course, pretty poor brakes, very small tyres, not much grip, no aero obviously as well. And lots of slidey fun. Of course, these cars are great. You can see the suspension working away there. Even love how the mirror gets plugged into the windscreen there, all the old engineering, the old bodywork, fantastic. Because you know that someone sort of hand built these cars. Just a heap of action on the steering wheel. You're never really ever going in a straight line, to be honest. The tyres chattering away there under heavy load. Alright, and last but not least, we've got the modern touring cars. We've got the WTCC and the WTCR from various years. The front wheel drive madness of these things. All the door bashing and wheel slamming action you expect. You see the AI just shoved me off there. But Brands Hatch Indy, so lots of action as well, no rest. But these are some of the most fun cars you'll find in sim racing for sure. So there you go guys, a little look at some of my favourite cars here in RaceRoom for you to check out. And as always, thanks very much for watching and take care.